What's up, guys? My name's Jonathan, this is my Canon, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Cannoneer. Now, a couple of videos ago, we shot a cinder block wall with our Canon here, and we had an extra cinder block wall left over that you guys suggested that we filled with sand. So that's exactly what we did. You guys also suggested that we shoot a couple of different projectiles at that cinder block wall, so we've also got that for you guys. So I'll meet you guys over at the range in just a second, and we'll start taking some shots at that cinder block wall filled with sand. But before we do, if you guys haven't done so already, go ahead and drop down below and hit that subscribe button. I'm sure you guys are going to want to keep up with all the fun stuff that we've got coming out in the future that we'll be shooting with our Canon here and out of our Canon here. Second, if you guys are interested in maybe sending us some of your own projectile designs to shoot out of the Canon, all the information for the subscriber shot special will be down in the description below. So I'll meet you guys over at the range and we'll take some shots at that cinder block wall. Okay guys, so for our target today, we've got a cinder block wall that's filled up completely with sand. So you guys saw us shoot our other cinder block wall. We had this one left over. You guys suggested that we fill it up with sand and take another crack at it. So that's what we're doing today. So let's load up our Canon and see what this cinder block wall filled with sand can take. Okay guys, so for our very first shot, we live in Tennessee. We're going to be loading up a hickory nut. So if you guys aren't familiar with these come off of a hickory tree. This is what they look like inside of their little shell. So when this thing's ripe, this little green peel kind of casing will come off of this, and the hickory nut will be inside, which kind of looks like a pecan. So there you go. We're going to load this up in the Canon. It happens to be almost the exact same size, so with a little push from the ramrod, we can get it down there. So let's load this up and see what we can do with this against our cinder block wall over there. Okay guys, it looks like we maybe hit it kind of almost in the center, so we'll have to check out our cameras for sure, but it looks like that's about where we hit it maybe. So we'll check our cameras for sure, but it looks like it did some good damage to it. Okay guys, up next we've got a 3D printed tank round. You guys have seen us shoot these a lot. We shot these against our regular cinder block wall, and it put a big hole through the front block but not through the back. So let's see what it'll do against our regular cinder block filled up with sand. I kind of think it'll just probably powder on impact, but let's see. Okay, y'all, it looks like that one maybe hit way low or skipped the ground. I don't know, maybe. There's a little, I think we might have hit that up real high, about the same spot we hit with the hickory nut. There's a piece of it sitting right there. It broke apart. So that's a piece of it. And it looks like we hit it right there. So cracked the top part. There's not a lot of sand in the top. It cracked the back and cracked that. So those little, ooh, and it pushed the whole thing around. Look at that. So those little tank rounds cracked the whole inside there. So those little tank rounds pack kind of a wallop to be made out of plastic. So let's up the ante just a little bit and see what we can do with this concrete wall here filled with sand. Okay guys, up next we've got a stone cannonball on our last concrete block wall. This thing basically just went through the first block and powdered when it hit the back. So we're going to see what this will do against our sand. It looks like with that tank round that it's kind of significantly upping the impact, maybe the force thrown onto it with the sand. So maybe this will do a big job and shatter the front end of that concrete block wall out. So let's see. Well, that one I know we hit because I can see the hole from here, other than the pleasant thunk it made when it hit. So let's see the damage. Nice perfectly round hole right in the center of that block. So let's see. Ooh, it blew out the back too. Ooh, and a bunch of sand. So there's the stone hole. If you guys can see through there, I think the sand filled it back in. So let's walk around, show you guys the back. Yeah, there's the back. Blew out the front there, knocked out the back plate. So that sand seems to really kind of up the force being dumped into that wall with the addition of that sand. So we will up the ante just a little bit and see what we can do with the rest of that wall. Okay guys, so y'all really wanted to see us shoot some chain shot at the cinder block wall as well, so I've got that for you. Nice chain shot meant to tear apart sails and riggings, which we will be doing one of these days. But let's load this up and see how it does against that cinder block wall filled with sand. Oh yeah, I can see the hole from here. I can see the sand spilling out of it too. Okay, so let's get a little closer and take a good look what that chain shot did to that wall. Oh yeah, look at all that sand that spilled out the front. Nice hole there. Nice interesting looking hole, so I'm excited to see if the camera picks up how the chain itself went in, if it was straight or if it spread out. Let's look at the back. Didn't go through. Hey, it stopped inside of there. So we'll knock this wall down, hopefully, at the end of this and see what's inside of there. But you guys can see all that sand spilling out. So let's throw a lead cannonball at this wall and finish it off. Okay, guys, for our last shot, we got a regular 10-ounce lead cannonball. Kind of think this is going to blow the wall apart just like it did with the last cinder block wall. So maybe it'll just blow out the back, but I don't know. But it's sure going to put a giant hole in the front of that wall at least. So let's see what happens. Well, there's not a wall anymore. There was a wall, but there's not a wall anymore. So y'all had a good idea with the addition of that sand. It really just kind of ups the ante and the oomph that those balls hit with the projectiles and stuff slam into that wall with. So there you go. There's the remnants of our wall versus a cannon filled with sand. Or not a cannon filled with sand, but a wall filled with sand. So there you go. Look at the back, there's our chain shot right there, or a piece of it anyway. See the lead deformed when it hit on the inside. It looks like it took a piece of the cinder block with it, yep. So there's the piece of the chain shot. Somewhere else will be the rest of it, but there you go. Okay guys, so we were taking down the wall here, and we found our stone cannonball, and it looks like that may have been the point of impact, and you can definitely see that there's a bunch of cracks running all the way through it. So it's intact still, but you can definitely see the cracks. It looks like maybe where it hit, but there's cracks running all the way through. Maybe that's where it hit. I don't know, but that's what it looks like when you send a cannonball through a cinder block wall filled with sand. Well guys, that was a pretty fun one. I'm not really sure what I expected when I filled that cinder block wall up with sand, but it just seems like it makes that wall a lot harder for some of those projectiles to go through. And for others, when it hits, it just seems like all that force is just instantaneously thrown into that sand, transferred right into the wall, and just blows it all to pieces. So good suggestion. I really do appreciate that idea. Thank you guys so very much for that one. And that was sure a fun one to watch. So if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and drop down below and hit that like button. It's really going to help us get this video out into the world of YouTube. And if you guys have any questions about the Canon, maybe anything you guys want to see us shoot with the Canon or out of the Canon, go ahead and drop them down below in a comment as well, and I'll get those questions answered for you, and we'll hopefully be able to shoot those things with the Canon in the future. Now, once again, guys, my name's Jonathan. This is my Canon. Thank you so very much for tuning into this episode of the Cannoneer, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.